So the next item is Chairman's opening address, so which I'm going to take. So, do I take it? Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wahdahu la sharika lah wa ashhadu anna sayyidana Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluhu. Amma ba'd, fa'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Ar-rahmanir rahim. Maliki yawmiddin. إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. The respected Sadar MAJLIS ANSARULLAH Nigeria, our respected immediate former Amir, our respected Naib Amir, Finance and Admin, all Amila members present, to all the participants, I say Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. We give glory to Almighty Allah for giving us the opportunity to attend this 25th annual national workshop of MAJLIS ANSARULLAH Nigeria coming up in Ojokoro today, which started yesterday and will still extend till tomorrow, 18th of February 2024. The theme of the workshop is MAJLIS Progress and Development through Commitment and Empowerment of Office Holders. And I would just want to remind us of only three things. The first one is for us to look at the development aspect and see that what are we developing in. Number one is obedience. Number two is discipline. And number three is reliance on Allah. So as far as obedience is concerned, we as members of MAJLIS ANSARULLAH, we need to pay attention to obedience to Almighty Allah, obedience to the Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, obedience to the promised Messiah alayhi salatu wasalam, and obedience to the Khulafa up to the present Khalifa. May Allah continue to guide us aright. We as members of MAJLIS ANSARULLAH must not only obey, but we must work on getting our families to obey. And we must avoid intrinsic disobedience, because if we have intrinsic disobedience, it is likely going to affect our people. Those who are our subjects are all likely going to be affected by intrinsic disobedience. And that is where you obey openly, internally you have quarrel with the nizam of the Jama'at in one way or the other, such that is in you is likely going to manifest in the children. So we have to avoid passive disobedience. that is internal disobedience, but openly we will obey. That's what they ask us to do, we will do. But internally, you probably do not agree. In the local parlance, they used to say elders, they will have soft words on their lips, but in their mind, they will have hard words. In Islam, we know that what you have in you must be what you will say and what you will reflect. Obedience is very important for us because the trait of disobedience has started coming out very gradually within the system, and we must be very careful to avoid disobedience in any form and in any way. May Almighty Allah continue to make the act of obedience to the constituted authority, who is the Khalifa of the Jama'at, an easier thing for each and every one of us. The second one I did mention is the issue of discipline. As we know that we want many people to join the Jama'at, His Holiness has consistently guided us that if you want to do tabligh, you must be very good in tarbiyah. So discipline, especially self-restriction from a lot of things which we will have done ordinarily, is what can assist us to get people into the fold of the Jama'at and also to retain the people. We as Nasirs or members of MAJLIS ANSARULLAH Nigeria, we should be ahead in terms of discipline, and we should avoid all forms of rancor or hatred in our environment, within our family and within our friends and within our fold. It is very important for us if we will be progressing as members of the Jama'at. So I request that we all pay attention significantly to the act of discipline. Again, I will also say that our discipline should be both latent and patent. The internal one, we should be disciplined, and physically also we should be disciplined. We should not say what we don't believe, or we should not say what we know is an act of indiscipline. And a little one that we say is definitely going to affect all the people that surround us. For instance, we were here in Shura, and it is very obvious that a larger percentage of people that attended the Shura, is either they didn't listen to the proceeding of the Shura, or they choose not to even know what we were discussing. I give an example. We did a budget here, and we all knew the profile of the budget, that the expenditure was more than the income. But by the special grace of Allah, this is the fold of Allah, that we always have assistance from wherever we have it. For somebody now interland to say, oh, we are sending money to the headquarters, then we made a request and they are not responding to us. That statement alone can make all the members of Majlis in that mosque not to pay chanda correctly or directly. And that is why we have to be very careful with the sentence that we will be making. Not only Majlis, Hudam, even some Ansarullah will say, oh, okay, that is true. But the truth of the matter is that we all know the state of affairs. And for those who do not know, it is better to ask before we make comments. So this is why I emphasize the issue of discipline, because discipline includes saying things you are certain about, which you are very sure about. Otherwise, one will spread a wrong information that has implication on others whose faith are not very strong. So we, as members of MAJLIS ANSARULLAH, I request that we verify the sources of our information, and we should be able to comment appropriately. We should also act in the good manner, or in the best of manners, so that people can be joining the fold, and those who are within the fold will not leave. The third one, which is final point I want to draw our attention to, is the act of prayers, and that is reliance on Almighty Allah. We should avoid all acts of shirk. Whatever form of shirk it is, we should avoid it, and we should continue, as we are, observing our Tahajjud prayers very regularly, and also praying very, very seriously in respect of any circumstances. We shouldn't find an Ahmadi who will be seeking help from any other sources other than with Almighty Allah. And it is we, members of ANSARULLAH, that are going to lead others in this respect. When other arms of the Jama'at knows that we rely solely on Almighty Allah, they definitely will not do any other thing different. So if we see any other members of other auxiliary bodies, be it Lajna or members of MAJLIS Sudan, they probably will be looking forward to somebody who had acted in a way other than on reliance on Almighty Allah. So let us not only practice reliance on Allah, let us also hold on to it, and then get our children, our families to also rely on Almighty Allah. May Almighty Allah continue to accept our prayers. May Almighty Allah continue to be our protector. And may Allah continue to open the doors of His mercy unto each and every one of us. May Allah continue to bless our activities, bless our children, bless our family, bless our Jama'at. And may Allah continue to be the helper of His holiness. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuhu.